So by now, you have started to look into what typically stops you from taking action or from doing what you want, having what you want, or being the way you want. The intention for this video is to help you begin to transcend and break free from what typically stops you. Depending on the work you have already done before this program, you may or may not be familiar with the ideas that I'm going to share. Either way, just knowing about this stuff doesn't really make a difference. What messes people up is when they have a conceptual idea of something, but they either don't apply it or they don't apply it well. So I want you to listen to this video with fresh ears, and I want you to listen as if you achieving your 10x goal depends on you getting what I'm about to share. So with that said, let's jump right in. I'll start by saying flat out that mindfulness is the key ingredient. It's the core muscle that you want to build to transform your experience and your performance with velocity. And I'll tell you why. As we're going through life on a daily basis, we're constantly bombarded with stimuli. And our experience is often one reaction after another. It's usually like this. My alarm is going off. I'm so tired though. Alright, snooze 3 more times. Am I running late? I need some coffee. Did so-and-so ever text me back? This guy is so irritating. He reminds me of my dad. When is this meeting gonna be over? I forgot to get groceries. Should I get carry out? I need to check my bank account. What's that weird pain? Maybe I should go to the doctor. Oh God, I gotta charge my phone. And then we go to sleep, we wake up, and we do it all over again. This is the catch. We think that we're going through life actually interacting directly with what's out there. All the people, the places, the things, and so on. We think we're interacting with reality, when in fact we are actually constantly filtering reality. And instead we're interacting with this voice that's constantly talking to us in our heads non-stop. That voice is your perceptions, your beliefs, your judgments, your interpretations, your assumptions, and so on. It's like a narrator telling us about every second of every day, all day long, and it never gets turned off. You can think of it as the conversation that you're always having with yourself about your life in the background as you're living your life. So you can probably hear it now. Take a moment to listen to the thoughts that are going through your head. What's the conversation that's running in the background as you're watching this video? What is that voice saying? I'm gonna be quiet for a second to let you listen. Now think about it. You have a whole inner conversation about this program and about your 10x goal and about yourself in this program. And it pops up whenever you start to think about it or whenever you take action towards it. So try it again. Just start thinking about your 10x goal for a second. How do you start feeling? What thoughts and conversations start to run through your head? We get ourselves into trouble when we confuse this narrative voice for reality. We get in trouble when we have our thoughts and interpretations and we treat them as if they're actually real. What's happening is that you think you're running your life when in fact this voice is running you. And as long as you don't catch it and separate yourself from it, then it will be running you throughout this entire program. I'll show you what I mean. Have you ever said something to someone and they responded in a completely different way than you intended? Like if you're going out with your partner and you tell them, hey, you look really good tonight. And they respond, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And then they immediately get angry and irritated, and they might have an attitude with you for the rest of the night. Their internal voice heard what you said and then added something to it, like, oh, you don't usually think I'm attractive, or you don't think I look good normally, when what you really meant is, you look good all the time, but you look really good tonight. Or have you ever had this experience? You send a person a text message like, hey, do you want to get drinks? Maybe it's somebody you're interested in. And they respond, sure? Like with a question mark. What's the immediate conversation that starts to run through your head? It might be something like, maybe they're not really that interested in me. Why did I send that in the first place? See, this is why I can't get a bae. And then how do you start to feel? Maybe disappointed, maybe hesitant, maybe doubting yourself. And you might just be about to send a text message that says, never mind, we can go another day. When you receive another text message that says, oops, I didn't mean to send that question mark. Let's do it. Immediately, your emotions will probably shift to peace or excitement. So get this, all humans by default walk around misinterpreting text messages and believing that their misinterpretations are true. And of course, by text message, I mean most things in life, period. By default, we treat our thoughts as facts. Like the way we see it is the way it is. This is really big. This is really important because what you think determines how you feel, which determines what you choose and how you act, which determines your whole experience. Another way of saying that is your thoughts control your feelings control your actions, and your actions control your events. What you experience as real or true is the primary driver of what you feel, what you choose, and how you act. Even deeper, is the primary driver of what you see. People will ignore entire events and interactions because it doesn't fit in with what they believe is true. For instance, when my mom complains that my brother doesn't ever do anything, my brother's first response is often, well, but I just did the dishes and vacuumed the carpet and helped you clean your car yesterday. However, my mom doesn't see that because her truth is that he never does anything. So she ignores or deletes things that are counter to that. So if our thoughts ultimately determine our experience and the events in our lives, but most of our thoughts are running on automatic in the background beyond our control, then we're screwed. This is why mindfulness is so important. Ultimately, mastery over your life and your reality comes from your ability to continuously separate yourself from and choose your thoughts and feelings. Mindfulness allows you to see your thoughts and feelings not as reality, but as an often inaccurate filter that you can choose how to respond to. And in order to master that, you need to see what's there in the first place. You can't control what you can't see. As Ray Dalio puts it, until you make the invisible visible, then it will run your life and you will call it fate. The beauty in this is that once you make the invisible visible, then you can run your life and create your own fate. So your task now and for the rest of this program is to bring mindfulness to your game. Is to become aware of your inner conversation, especially in the area that you're playing your game. And to become aware of the thoughts that you have, the stories that that voice is telling, the assumptions that you're making, and the feelings that you have. And it's to catch all of that stuff as it plays out when you're out in the world taking action. So you do this in a few ways. The very first fundamental thing, the best way to build your mindfulness muscle is through meditation. There are various forms of meditation, but it all boils down to one thing. It's essentially a practice of continually catching your thoughts and feelings, acknowledging them as just thoughts and feelings, not reality, and then returning your focus to something else. I recommend that you start some type of daily meditation practice for at least 5 minutes a day. And if you have questions about how to do that, I'm more than happy to give you more support or advice. The second and probably most impactful way to bring mindfulness to your game is to bring it to your daily activity. At any moment throughout the day, especially in discomfort, you can pause, you can stop, and you can ask yourself 3 questions. What are my thoughts right now? What are my feelings right now? And what did I just perceive? What did I just see, do, hear, or feel that triggered these thoughts and feelings? And it might be helpful to take a moment to actually write these things in your phone or notebook, because that'll help you start to notice patterns down the line. Now, if you want to leverage mindfulness to actually begin directly shifting your experience, you can ask yourself the question, how is this occurring for me? And you can do this in 3 ways. You can say, how am I occurring for myself? So am I occurring as good or bad, weak or strong, weird or cool, tired or energetic? How are other people occurring to me? Are they occurring as dangerous, friendly, standoffish, mean, judgmental, welcoming? And then you can ask, how is the world occurring for me? Is it occurring as scarce or abundant? Is it occurring as supportive or risky? And once you can identify how things are occurring for you, then you can change your occurring. For instance, if I realize that I'm occurring for myself as awkward, then I can simply stop and state an alternative way of occurring for myself. Like I can say that I'm occurring for myself as friendly and comfortable with people. And when I change that, then I actually begin to relax and engage differently with people. Because remember, your thoughts control your feelings, control your actions, control your events. Another perfect example is fear and excitement. So physically, the feeling of fear and excitement, our bodies can't tell the difference. If you notice yourself feeling anxious or nervous about something, an event, speaking, something that's coming up, or even a task that you have to do, instead of saying you're scared or anxious, you can just repeat to yourself, I'm feeling excited. I feel so excited right now. And your brain will actually process the feeling differently, and you'll begin to perform better and actually find yourself more peaceful and engaged as time passes. But you can only do that if you can catch it. And that's the main point that I want to make. So again, if you want to change your outcomes in life, you begin by changing your thoughts and your occurring. And one last thing, you can also develop mindfulness of emotion, mindfulness of feeling. When you're feeling a strong emotion, you can pause and ask yourself the following questions. What am I feeling right now? For example, sad or happy. What does sad feel like? Or what does this feeling feel like? And when you ask yourself that question, you just notice the sensations in your body. And then you begin to change your relationship with the feeling. So you say, well, can I let this feeling come and go? Hopefully the answer is yes. And you can ask, can I love this feeling? And then finally you just ask yourself, what happened? What's actually going on? What triggered this feeling for me? And usually it's going to be some kind of thought that you have which was triggered by something that you experienced in your environment. So that's all. Your work for the rest of this program is to continually practice mindfulness. This will enable you by far to get the best results. Peace.